everybody. This is part of Reese's face.
Oh, hey, yeah. It's the Ideal
Yeah.
Comic Stream. We're the camera. Oh, that's right.
I can see you just fine, more or less.
Oh, yeah, just standing right here.
Yeah, you're
You
fine.
got the profile.
Oh, yeah,
my
you got your beaker
big
right there.
nose,
There we go.
So how's it going, Barry?
It's going good, man.
It's been a while since we had a.
I titled it the end of summer. 2 weeks off. We're back on now because we took 2 weeks off apparently at the end of summer.
Yeah, por tradición.
Oui. Salute, Slancha.
Slancha va.
So this is comic time.
Yeah, we are here to talk comics. Sort of, kind of. Oh, man. My computer needs to be plugged in.
We got Ella right there. We got Ella right here.
Okay. I'll grab my cord. Got it in here somewhere. Of course, we are still shy. One of our three amigos.
Yep. Rico is indisposed right now.
Just getting over being sick.
Getting over being sick.
Is that too much information? Probably.
No, I mean, you would pull out the one.
Grinder out.
We don't need coffee right now. Oh, actually, I'll pull out the coffee one already. Anyway.
Yeah.
Amigos. And amigos forever will be. Such a good movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
The best of movies.
Best of times, the worst of times. So many movies. Sorry, what? So I should probably share this.
Yeah. Well, I can
I
jump on and share as well. In fact, I can probably now that I've got juice, I can go ahead and share it using TweetDeck.
And
we can share it to lots of places. Lots of places.
You know what I can do?
Lots of things.
I could scoot you over both on that side and make a little more sense.
Maybe.
I mean, I know you want to sit close to me already.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I want.
That's what I wanted to hear. That's what the fans wanted.
They've been calling.
We've got a hammer in that.
We've got our own little shippers.
Yeah, very Rhys love request.
That's terrifying.
It is. So Rhys, what have you drawn for Inktober?
Nothing.
Yeah,
I have not done anything for Inktober yet, but it is, of course, the first day.
It is.
However, I am probably not going to do the whole Inktober thing this month, because we are getting stuff ready for the mini-con, and so.
Okay, let's be honest. You just hate things that are good.
I hate art. That's the real secret, Barry.
Yeah, you work in a medium which you hate.
Just to frustrate myself.
It's to throw the bad guys off. It's really to throw the bad guys off the trail. That's what it is.
That's the ticket. That's what I'm doing.
So we were talking earlier how Christian Bale is the best Batman ever, and these motherfuckers that think otherwise.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's what we were saying.
It is. It's what I was saying. No, it wasn't.
I like creating narratives halfway through nothing.
I just like to destroy the world. I don't know.
Barry incites chaos and wonder wherever he goes. More chaos and wonder, but that's what heroes are for. The ones that haven't been changed for agendas. So my favorite, Barry, what's your favorite brush in the world, Rhys?
Well, it depends on like actual brush or like digital brush.
Well, let's go digital route because you're just now playing with a new toy.
I'm trying to get a handle on all of that. It's handy.
It's pretty,
motherfucker. Fine. It is pretty and handy.
But that's too bad. What are you doing now? You logged in?
Yeah, I'm sharing on Facebook.
I should join our stream as Barry on my Procreate here.
There you go. And then we can share your picture that you're drawing on the stream. Oh no,
They can kind of see it.
I don't know if they can do that with the thing because we're not set up that. Or are you on StreamYard?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you were gonna do that.
I'm a poor bastard.
Okay, well there you go. Prep for the.
Yeah, technically I could. I guess by myself.
Yeah.
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 Say it one more time. Don't do
No.
it. Don't do it.
I'm not. I don't feel like it.
So, Rhys, who was the greatest hero ever created?
It's obviously the expedition.
I mean, I wouldn't say Wolverine, but X's.
I wouldn't say Wolverine, but it's Wolverine. No, I think Captain America's a better hero than Wolverine. I'm not saying he's a better character.
No, yeah. I did say that wrong, didn't I? Fuck Barry. Excuse Barry's language. This is gonna be not for the kiddies, people.
I will absolutely not be doing that.
Terminology, Rhys. We don't adhere to it being
Literal. Yes, but taking it literally is.
Please, bro.
It is out.
It's much funnier. What happened? You lose your thingy? You're frozen?
I'm frozen.
Frozen. Yabba dabba. I might not even explain it.
Okay, we're back on, I believe. Barry froze the shit for a second because he bumped the rather sensitive thingy there. Hey, we got one person watching. Is that you?
Yes,
Make me sick.
it is me. Although I did just share it here on.
The Oriental brush that I played with on Procreate. It's quite charming.
Cool. I'm just the one I've been using on Krita is just the standard brush. It's like the second one down. It's responsive to the touch screen on my tablet, so gets a nice tapered thing on it.
So
it's very simple, but it's what I want for the because I just do flat colors for forces. So when I'm changing up the contours for the outlines and stuff, it's really convenient for that.
So let me get it straight. The only brush you use, standard A, typical word.
Yeah.
You are not an artist, sir.
Well, not a good one.
All right. You understand. I mean, you have a semi. Understanding of color theory.
Yeah.
You might want to loosen it up a little bit. You need to piss your pants a little bit and go roll in the hay and become Van Gogh. But
it's good for what I want right now. That's the bottom line. The brush I have, it's simple, but it does exactly what I want.
Digital art making Barry look good.
There you go. There you go.
So, when they copied Batman off of Exposition, obviously.
Oh yeah, there's that.
Obviously. So I threw his lip together. It actually kind of looks like Bale Batman. I didn't mean to do that.
Subconscious of just doing it all the time.
Of the best Batman ever. Who would you say was the best Batman? I really did like. I've liked them all a little bit. Clooney, I think, was the weakest.
I would agree because Clooney was just being Clooney.
Well, he was being Clooney, but I mean, come on. I'm sure. What was that stage like? You have Schumacher yelling more neon lights.
Mm-hmm.
You had Clooney thinking this guy is more hopped up. Like Clooney's kind of an old-fashioned type actor.
Yeah, I would agree. I actually do think that makes a lot of sense.
And Schumacher's flipped out head just.
Yeah.
I mean, he's coked out his mind. No, I'm joking. Just kidding. This is all alleged.
Allegedly coked out of his head. I mean,
And so, living the good life. As you know. And so, I did wish we had more. Wish we had more Val Kilmer.
yeah,
I wish we had more Val Kilmer heroes. We had Val Kilmer as Saint,
yeah.
which was really cool. Him and
Well, okay, and here's the thing. Like, I really, no, seriously, I really like,
there's a Saint.
I like Val Kilmer as the Saint until I read the Saint novels. Because, like, I was familiar.
It's like saying I like this war movie until I read the book about the war.
Yeah, sort of. But no, like, okay, so I was a fan of the radio show, The Saint. Right, that was my first exposure to the character, was the radio show, and sometimes it was voiced by Vincent Price, and sometimes not.
Yeah. For context.
Yeah.
Rhys yourself, he's actually an immortal. He was born back in the 1950, so, and he listened to the radio show back when it was.
Fuck you, Barry.
It was bound to happen.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's only half false.
See the wash. I've never used. I need to buy a Japanese brush, and find out the heavy wash because they do watercolor.
Mm-hmm.
But like the wash is the ink and the water is usually heavier than what I ever paint with. It's a larger brush, more or less. So it's a fatter brush. I'm not sure. I think the horsehair is, the same horsehair, but the brush is semi-fatter per size of. Anyway, it'd be cool to paint with. God damn it! I need to buy one. I need to order one. Look at that the wash.
Yeah.
See how it actually makes its own blend.
Mm-hmm.
And I hit this button.
On Paint Shop Pro, one of my favorite brushes is the.
Is Batman?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. One of my favorite brushes is the oil brush.
Oh god.
And
do you ever use
it makes a really neat blend between whatever two colors you pick.
Speaking of,
so I like using it to.
Do you ever use blend?
Wait, what?
Do you ever use the blend tool?
No. What the heck just happened? Sorry, something weird just happened on my tweet deck.
Sorry. Stop making things happen. Don't be dramatic about it. So the blend tool is one of my favorite tools I ever discovered going back to high school. Actually, it felt like painting. And anyway, that's somebody successful.
Yeah, ain't bad.
This guy is hate for
That's
Christian Bale.
I would not say that, actually. I have fairly ambivalent Christian Bale.
Speaking of Christian Bale, have you seen the newest John Wick movie?
No. I haven't seen any of the John Wick movies.
It was disappointing. It wasn't that good. It was movies when they start out semi-indie, kind of like small, kind of like, hey, this is just we're making this movie. This is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And they gain so much success and notoriety. What do you think happens then? Oh, the assholes in the studio step in.
That's probably true.
And you can always hear it. I can see. And you always can tell when they step in because usually the movie goes to shit. I don't know. I don't think Keanu didn't look like he was in as good a shape either as he had been in either. So I think he was. Maybe moving on to his next project. Okay. Did you share that? Because people are talking.
Yeah.
You guys think you're funny, huh? Excessively awkwardly.
All we can see is your arms. Is that a thing? Lean in excessively and awkwardly. Half faces. Oh, well, there we have. We actually.
No one wants to see our faces.
Well, I actually did share it on Facebook first.
We're doing a favor to you all.
Yeah. The best thing you do is look at Barry's apartment.
Yeah, yay. I should put my fat butt. He's like a gentleman. I'm gonna sip here.
I don't always
sip.
sip,
But when I do-
I sip whiskey.
It's good whiskey.
It is pretty good whiskey.
And I can't even see my own Batman creation.
That's true. It's true. I'm supposed to be leaning back from the camera a little bit.
Oh, looking back.
See,
Hey. Sorry.
the most interesting, whatever.
Sorry. And I am this
The
pale.
problem-
It's not the lighting, actually. It's not
Oh.
that strobe light it has.
The problem
Actually, it's
is
pale.
that we have if I don't lean forward, my computer has to be plugged in. It doesn't reach. I can't bring it back very much farther.
Look, we're not computer shaming on this stream, Rhys. We do other shaming.
Okay, if you say so. So,
Scott just tuned in.
hey,
Mr.
Scott Bruckner, how's it going, man?
We appreciate the other people tuning in. Kept you in company, Miss Martinez.
Yeah, but
Mrs. Martinez.
Scott.
But Scott's a fellow creator.
Yeah, he is, and of course he's a fairly routine watcher of my Thursday show, The Matriarchy.
We are sorry, Scott.
And this week, totally unrelated to Ideal Comic stuff, but we are having a Matriarchy reading club this week. And number one Marmaduke fan and Carl's Amateur Hour, Carltoons, is going to be coming on. We're going to be doing a review of Jack Irons
Oh.
and of issues 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then in hour 2, Cody's going to come on and going to talk to us about our thoughts on it. Because I had Cody on a couple weeks ago, and he's like, nobody will give me bad feedback. I don't know what I need to improve because everybody says they like it, and I'm afraid people are just being nice.
They're being nice.
And I said, dude, if you want bad, rough feedback, I am your guy.
This is your guy.
Because I am an ass. So I volunteered.
I mean, I don't want to agree with you, Rhys. Because I don't like agreeing with Rhys in general. But,
That's true.
But at this one time, I'll
Yeah.
make an exception.
Yeah, so I went ahead and I got some other voices on. We're gonna have a conversation, and then Cody's gonna come on. I'm just gonna tear him apart. Actually, I'm not. The first issue is really strong. Second issue,
You're such a bastard.
I know. The first issue is really, really. The second issue has some weird pacing stuff. It's a little too much tell than show, but I'm only halfway through it. So
This is which one?
Jack Irons.
Yeah.
The Steel Cowboy.
The first. Well, I read the first issue.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the first issue?
Yeah. Oh, the first and second.
Okay, because I like the first issue. It was like really,
Yeah.
wow.
First one is
Really
just,
jumped in there.
It's
and
perfect. It is perfect.
Okay, well you're little Fifth Element on me there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're Ian McKellen there, but I love. Well, it's a lot of Ian somethings. You know.
I can't remember what you're talking about.
Neither can I. He played Bilbo.
Oh yeah.
And he's talking about, but at this point,
He was also in From Hell. Ian McDermott, I think. Let's look it up.
We don't know. We just kind of talk.
Get it figured out here.
Yes, chicken. The Fifth Element in the Caption Company is right on. Thank you very much.
I don't remember that part.
So
of it.
he's
Definitely
talking
need to watch
about
more
Lilu,
of it.
and she's perfect, and you nail it. You
Oh,
were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
boom, you're right there.
Yeah.
Boom. There's some boom right there. Chicken. Yeah.
So let's see here.
The very lovely Mia Jovovich. That's right.
Mia Jovovich, isn't it?
Jovovich.
I think it's.
Look, we're not doing European. We're doing American. Very horrible. You literally looked up Bill. I wasn't.
I can't remember the actor's name, so I'm looking up the adaptation here.
Look up.
Actually, a lot of times it'll say who portrayed them in different. That doesn't hear.
No, look up Lord of the Rings. Just type in Lord of the Rings. Oh, right there. I'll be like the cast before. Oh, there you
Ian
go.
Holm.
Holm. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
He's like Fifth Element. Yes.
You're right.
Hell yeah. The lady's like Jovovich. Yes. You know, back when she asked me, Barry, am I high? I said, hell yes. I was 15. Maybe I was older than that. Yeah, she's a lovely, sexy, gorgeous woman that I appreciate. first film was a classic film that we all got the wording of the immortal Matthew McConaughey. You know what that film was? Because right now I can't remember what the fuck it was.
Dazed and Confused?
Dazed and
Was she in
Confused.
Dazed and
There we go.
Confused?
Yeah, she was in Dazed and Confused, man.
I only saw Dazed and Confused once. I was so underwhelmed. I was like, yeah.
All right.
That was a waste of my life.
Oh my god, you are such a
I just
hater of
hate-
things that are nice and relaxed. Here's the thing, Rhys. You drink a little more, you're a lot more tolerable, you son of a bitch. And then we'll discuss Dazed and Confused.
First of all, that movie is not nice and relaxed. It involves sexual assault, hazing, and a whole bunch of like other. It's a very like there's a lot of
There's a lot of
griminess
there's
in
a lot
that
of
movie.
high school you just hate it, isn't it?
I did hate high school. So I got to tell a funny story about high school. It's not actually about high school. So my son and Amy were talking.
Which
to
one?
me.
Because you have two.
I do. My eldest too.
Okay, his eldest.
Who is now in college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You gotta get him drunk.
Yeah, not yet.
It's
He's-
college freshman year.
Yeah,
He doesn't understand.
he lives
yet.
at home, and
Oh, yeah, maybe we gotta sneak it past Amy. Right now.
he would
Damn it.
he would really disrespect you for suggesting that.
I know, that's okay.
He
Though.
just-
Good
he
on him.
just-
Good
He'd be
kid.
like, I
Don't
am
drink,
not
kids.
21 yet.
That's right.
That's what he would say.
Uncle Barry, you're doing bad stuff.
And in fairness, I also did not drink until I was 21. So, but I've made up for it since then. But
That's true. You did. You know, and like I didn't drink until I was. All right, let's move on to the next subject.
here I was talking about. Oh, Donovan. I was talking about Donovan.
Yeah.
And he and Amy were talking today, and he says, "How do you like college?" He's like, "I like it." He says, "What does that mean?" Well, I really like the classes.
That's what I go to. I was like,
I really like the
That's
classes,
nice.
and I like some of my classmates, but some of them seem like they're not really there to learn, and I don't understand it. They're spending all of this money, and they sleep through class, and I just don't understand it at all.
all right. Are we gonna be fair to those people, or are we gonna be like just slam them?
And Amy tells me, she says, okay. And I thought, Donovan continues, I thought that by, skipping high school and just staying in homeschool the whole time, I'd miss all of that high school nonsense, cliques and all of that. And well, I didn't. And then I said, so then Amy's telling me the story, and I said to her, I said, I got real bad news for the rest of that kid's life, because it doesn't get any better once you leave college either.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, he's right to a very, very good degree, but he's also like, there's, you know what?
You get to leave work at work.
Yeah.
And you don't always get to do that.
Anyway, Mrs. Martinez, no, we discussed it. Barry was shot down. We are not getting the young man drunk until that night, though. Jesus Christ, I don't know if you will be what, 50 then?
Yeah, with my
4 years from now. At this rate,
so see, well, Donovan's
21.
18, so yeah, 4 years.
roughly.
Three
Three
years or
years,
whatever.
but
And,
we're good on math here.
And,
I know
and
he's
so
18.
as being almost 41, I will definitely be 50.
Yes. At this rate, between the rate we are working on our actual projects and the stress that we maintain between them,
I might already be 50 by that measure. Okay, enough about alcohol. Let's talk.
we're talking about your son. His name is not alcohol. You son of a bitch. No, sorry.
So the mini con is coming up in a month. It's a month.
Is it
It's 4 Saturdays.
Is it really?
Yes.
We have 4 more Saturdays.
Yeah.
I have 3 Saturdays to fuck around and not do anything until
No,
the next one.
you
2.
have
I have
one. We gotta talk about projects.
Done. Okay, so Barry has to. All right, so Barry has to get things done actually now.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Now that's this shit. I mean, never
Because we
mind.
got to know. I mean, because like we should have time that last week to actually get some stuff printed, because we're doing it all local, which is the best art we have, especially considering that we don't own the character.
Wow, I can't even. It's not picking it up very well.
That's-
There's nuance that show. I hate you so much. There's nuance that you can't see. Is Matt almost 29? It's okay, Matt. She said it's okay, Matt. I'm almost 29.
You're almost.
I thought you were like, technically you've been mom for 10 years now, almost.
Oh.
So like,
Oh, it's that Chelsea.
yeah. So you are almost our age.
See, saying for you to say you're almost 29 doesn't help me feel any younger. Because I've known you that long.
Don't stop. That's true. That's true. He used to change your diapers.
No.
No. I'm exaggerating. I'm exaggerating. But as mature as she was, I'm saying she was a child. She was a brat.
She was absolutely a child.
A brat.
That's not even in question.
Oh, it's that Chelsea. I'm scared. She's talking trash.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
People on our stream talk trash to us because
that's okay. That's okay.
That's fine. We're okay with that.
That's fine. I wasn't meaning that insultingly. It was more recognition.
I like how you're leaning into my laptop instead of it.
Well, no, it's because that's how I read. Oh, yeah. The words are down there.
That's true. They are down there, aren't they? Damn it. So you can't see them. Can't we? Let's just fix that.
Yeah.
Delete! Make this
I
private.
could join the stream on the side and look that way, but...
Colors. I'm doing a reverse over and over again. I missed your comment 8 to 10 minutes ago, Scott. I'm sorry. He was talking. It happens. Yes. Colors. I almost said fuck colors, but colors are beautiful. I like colors.
So, Scott,
thank you, Chelsea. Ideal Comics is awesome.
Well, thank you.
You need to buy more of them. You know what? And you know what? We don't usually encourage people to waste their whole check on things you enjoyment, because entertainment is a large part of life, and you get large enjoyment. But if you do waste your whole check on Ideal Comics, well then, it's almost like saving the whales. In Africa.
I would like to point out that at this point, it'd be very difficult to waste your entire check on Ideal Comics, because we don't have that much product. But
we have stickers.
We will have stickers.
So you would have a lot of stickers.
We will have stickers.
They're lovely. Lovely stickers.
We will have stickers. And trading cards. But, and that's the thing is, do we want to try, back to subject, do we want to try to get some of our trading cards done and get a pre-print of them done up for the mini-con, or do you want to wait on getting those until we do fulfillment on the campaign? So that the backers get the first go round of them.
I think we should get them done. I was gonna say yes, just as a general answer, but I didn't want to be that much of a jerk. Because it's actually yes, we need to actually get.
I'm not sure we can get.
Well, wait. No, you said what?
Trading cards.
I'd rather cards, man.
The postcards? Oh, okay. Well, I want to do postcards anyway. So, which reminds me.
Do we want them prices? They are oodles.
Hey, Steve just messaged me.
Yeah, what's Steve say?
Oh, no, this is from before.
Well, here I was thinking you're important.
No, I had talked to Steve earlier about possibly jumping on stream.
I see. Josie, the prices are oodles.
For what? Well, the anthologies are $4 a piece. We've got a bunch of $1 and $2 mini comics. Our postcards
come up for
probably going to be free.
If I'm going to if we're going to get metal cards, we would need them right next week.
Well, I don't think we. Well, okay. So here's the situation.
That's pretty, everyone's always like, these are sweet. Anytime they grab those metal, free cards we give away.
Do we want to do some metal, business card things? Because like for the campaign,
those are. I don't know if I'll have the money, bro.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're expensive.
That's what I'm saying. For the campaign, we didn't make enough to buy the metal trading cards. And I talked to Joni. She's going to cut us a deal on getting them printed.
Okay.
So we're going to be able to get them for less because the way we use part of the deal is that a bunch, like nearly every company that I got a quote from, they were only going to give me a quote for each individual design. And I was like, dude, I want 9 designs on a sheet of paper. So I can print up a set of 9 and do what I want with them. And they're like, yeah, we won't do that. So I talked to Joni. Joni said she'd work with us because she does that kind of printing all the time.
Right.
Because like she does doubles up jobs, whatever paper. So she'll bundle the jobs together if she's doing multiple things for her ease. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if she's doing wrap cards and postcards, she'll do whatever fits on the paper. So she's willing to work with us on that. So, and then for the postcards, the giveaway, I have some, 120 card stock stuff I was going to print up like we did for the Torrington Minicon. For that,
okay.
But for our Minicon, I was going to have some giveaways like we did at the Torrington Minicon.
Well,
what the heck is AFK?
Yeah, the metal cards are pretty badass.
No, they are. I really like.
Chelsea saying she has them from last year. Yeah, I mean, and that guy cut me a nice deal. He was a real nice guy that been in Omaha actually. I just can't afford I can't afford the business card metal cards.
Oh, I see.
Because if we give those away generally for free, like that's a big loss.
That's a big loss.
We need to start like selling them.
No, I agree. I think it'd be cool to have.
So you want part of Ideal Comics? Here, $5. No, I'm joking. It'd be like at least a $2 because I like $1.75. I think.
Yeah, I think having some of our trading cards printed on metal cards, would be a fun thing for next year.
Yeah. We do have a photographer doing something, right? We had Blaine got a photographer.
Yeah, Blaine got a photographer.
So yeah, Blaine got a photographer for the con. Are you doing photography now, Chelsea? Is that what you're saying? Was that a hint? I'm not really sure with your endeavors. You no longer make me beanie babies. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Okay, I'm gonna call Steve.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'm horrible. I know.
Allow microphone access.
I know, Chelsea. I'm just giving you a hard time. If you want, though, I mean, we only have one photographer there.
I mean,
if you want to do promotional stuff, because we have events before the con, we would definitely appreciate that.
Hello?
If I know I'm horrible. He said hello? Hello?
I don't know. Steve, you there? Oh, yeah, there you are. Okay. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I guess, I don't know. We're, Barry and I are sitting around talking company stuff and trying to figure out the situation. Also, we're live streaming our meeting, so you're on air.
Cool.
Okay.
What's going on, Steve?
I should probably mention that. I'm not sure Nebraska's a one-party consent state. So.
I do believe it is.
Oh, hey, cool. We're covered either way. Woo!
Sorry, sucker. No,
because I consent.
That's funny.
Anyway. So
we're so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So I don't know if you've been catching. We've been trying to talk back and forth a little bit about meeting for the mini-con. But that conversation's ongoing. We're thinking maybe Monday. Who knows on that? The other thing is that I wanted to talk with you about the website. And I know we haven't done like any updating because I've been insanely busy.
Mm-hmm.
With my real life, with my day job.
Well, I mean,
Well, they pay me, you know.
They do pay you. We don't pay you.
We don't pay me.
No.
It's a labor of love. But anyway, we talked a couple weeks ago about the possibility of doing like a pre-order site for the comic that so we can still get some orders before we go to print for the Expositioner one.
Let's see.
And you suggested the idea of maybe looking at another hosting site on something like that, but I've never heard of anything like that, and I didn't want to press you because you were busy getting ready for the show.
Yeah.
So, so can you elaborate at all?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of kind of options that you can do for that. Anything from like Indiegogo to Patreon.
Right.
A lot of those have these tier systems that you're able to set up at like special offers and things like that.
We have a Patreon. I didn't think that they would allow for single time donations or for something like that.
You can, I believe there's an option now where you can set up a special offer for particular pledge tiers, where it says if you pledge to this tier between these dates, when on the closing date, you'll be able to, you'll qualify for whatever the special offer is. So you can actually set those tiers up with special offers related to that release.
Well, I am going to look that up right now since we already have a company Patreon. That might be the simplest thing to do. And then we can just do a blog post on the website to point people that direction.
And I know it's definitely a bit easier than trying to post a solution on your own website, because then you also have to deal with all the transaction stuff and tracking by yourself. This way, it's you use Patreon systems to handle that.
Right. So, what part of the website is that under? Would that be under the setup section or?
You go to your page, you click on edit page, and then there should be an option on the very top right that says offers.
Okay. Top right. Oh, offers. Hey.
Yep.
Special offers is a new tool that helps dramatic prep and launch. Well, all right. That early access tickets, personalized physical postcards, one to touch me, personalized dedication, create your own. Wow. Okay, that's the thing right there, man. That's
Yep.
that.
And all
That's
you
awesome.
can do for the ones you want to do that are custom, you just click on create your own.
Mm-hmm.
You pop in the description. You select the start and end dates for when it runs,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can select the tiers that receive that benefit. And then on your Patreon page itself, during the run of the special offer, it'll show a little thing that says, if you subscribe to this tier before this date, there's a special offer reward with it. For the ones that need shipping, there's a little tick box that says check this box to automatically request shipping address, and then you'll be able to use Patreon's tools to like maintain and track the pre-orders as well. So that and that way, the people who do subscribe on Patreon,
Mm-hmm.
once the special offer was done, they're still supporting you through Patreon. So that way, like, once they do the special offer, they get the comic on release, you don't have to go to them and say, oh, by the way, if you want to continue supporting us, go to Patreon and pledge. They have the option of just letting the pledge continue.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's cool.
So hopefully that helps on a fundraising point as well.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Okay. Well, cool. That answers at least like 4 of my questions.
We don't need you, unconsenting man, on the computer.
No, that's awesome, dude. Thank you so much. I have not had a chance to dig into the changes they were talking about at all. So that's quite a good deal. So yeah.
We did a little bit of Patreon revamping for Stage Reborn, so I was looking into all those special offer things.
Yeah.
So they've definitely got some neat stuff.
So how did the show go?
It went fantastic.
So for those of you guys online who don't know, Steve is involved in an arts outreach activity, I guess you'd call it, called Stage Reborn, where they have actors that use video game platforms to reenact theatrical works. And you guys just did a Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yep, by William Shakespeare. And our whole mission is to make arts more accessible.
So people that are like, if you're the only person who is interested in acting and you live in like, rural Wisconsin and there's no community theater, then you can
Hop online.
hop online and stretch your stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty cool thing.
And that's on the Steam, or that's on the Twitch platform.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep, we broadcast the show to Twitch. We had the closing night, we had around 125 or so, and then another
That's awesome.
70 or so in the game watching. So
That's
close
awesome.
to 200.
That's
Opening
real.
night was closer to 300 people, stream and in game included. So it was a pretty big audience for the weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, that's real good. It was last Friday. I'm sorry, Steve, I missed. I was busy at actual meeting, but you're going to be, this will be an ongoing thing, correct? You're going to have more.
Oh yeah, this production's done, but we're planning for our next projects coming out, and some of them are related to that game as well, and others are off the game, like a digital flyer we're working on. And there's going to be some talk about setting up a multi-platform improv group, and so you're going to get a lot of crazy cool stuff going on in the next year with us.
That's awesome. And we share his links. You can find all his links on the High Plains Minicon page.
Yep, because A Stage Reborn is one of the featured guests at the Minicon here in a month. So
Very nice. Very nice. So that's awesome. That's a good viewing, man. That's
Yeah.
hella
Geez,
successful.
I don't know when the last time I did something that 300 people were aware of.
Well, we have one coming up here quite soon.
Well, yeah. I do expect there to be in the neighborhood at the Minicon. But yeah. So okay, cool. We will have to get that Patreon set up this weekend, so we can go ahead and start pre-selling. And for those of you guys wondering, we did an Indiegogo campaign for the Tales of Shadow Vox Populi, which is the first issue of a miniseries. It's a mystery story featuring our superhero detective, the Expositioner, and we are hoping to be fulfilling that by the end of December is our target date on that, and we're working at getting that story put together. Very exciting for it. You can kind of we're doing a modified Marvel method style with the scripting, and if you guys are interested, you can check our backlog here on YouTube.
Yep.
And watch us argue over pages.
It's called the working process.
It is the working process for the story, and part of it is so I'm doing dialogue.
Thank you.
And the outline. The story and dialogue are mine, and Rico's doing the pencils. Barry's doing inks and colors, and we're all storytellers. And so we really felt that the best way to do this, rather than and the process we wanted to use was to bring that in with everybody having a voice. So it's a little different process than your typical comic book, but we think it's yielding some really fun results. So
yes.
you get to watch us punch each other in the mouth over the internet on some of the other videos.
Not literally, but that sometimes almost happens, you think.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chelsea. She says what you guys do is awesome.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much. We know you have young chitlins there, so we expect them to also buy our stuff. Just kidding.
Oh, and also for Chelsea's sake, we are going to be having some all ages stuff coming up in our mini comics that we're getting ready for the con as well.
Good.
So one particular story I'm very excited for. It's called The Seven Quests of the Savage Norseman, and it tells the origin story for one of our 70s era heroes.
Yes.
So I'm very stoked about that one. It's
It's
nearly
very
finished.
bloody. He's a Norseman. He's going to be ripping off limbs.
He's not.
For those kids interested in limb ripping.
He's not.
No.
It's nearly finished. We're one page away from being done with it. So
do we need Steve anymore?
I don't know, Steve. I think that was that answers so many questions about everything that I think everything else I wanted to talk to you about is con related.
I think Steve would love to hear me and you ramble, but Steve, if you want to stay on the show, we will keep you. We're more in love to keep you, but if you want to leave us, we understand.
Yeah, you really did an end run around me, so.
Yeah, well, I got to do a few things things around the house, but you know what I'll do? In case, because you know how sometimes you might think of something and I'll laugh and be like, oh, you should call Steve again.
Awesome.
I'll mute myself so that way you can just start shouting Steve and I should hear it from my phone.
I got you. We got you.
That sounds like a great plan.
You know, we often yell Steve just for random, so hell.
Yeah. Steve!
Yeah. Up to the sky. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for joining, Steve. That was awesome.
Thanks, man. We'll catch you later.
Cool.
Good talk to you soon.
Okay.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, so how are with the,
Tasty. Very, very tasty.
Okay, so with the Boone story that you're working on, how is that coming? Is that something you think we're going to get done in the next month?
Yeah, we can get done, but I only have 9 pages. I don't know.
You only have 9?
Yeah, I can only find 9 pages.
I thought there was more.
I thought there was more too. That's what I don't have a proper ending.
Okay, well, would you have them? I mean,
Yeah,
like
there's-
handy, where I can take a look at them in a second.
Grab 'em.
Okay. So, I'm going to fill some time since Barry's looking for the thing. The projects that we are expecting to have finished. One,
I heard you. Well,
one is called the Mark Question Meets the Lord of the Shoes, and it is a Golden Age mystery. That's going to be a black and white.
What is Golden Age mystery? Is that
Gold-
have a
Golden
lot of
Age-
gold on the pages?
Yeah. So the Golden Age in comic book terms has to do with the Golden Age of comics, from 1938 up until about 1948 to 1951. There's some argument about when that happened.
Yeah.
And it was the first era when superheroes were very, very popular and the medium was very, very popular. Then in the early 50s,
Steve! No.
you just want to see if it works.
Yeah.
That's a little okay. In the early 50s,
That's so horrible.
in the middle of in
Sorry.
the early 50s, in the middle of the Red Scare, which is really a pejorative term for a very real problem, but I don't want to get into that right now.
That's a whole nother problem.
It's a whole other thing. Tune in to the Matriarchy
Goddamn
on
Russ.
Thursdays, and you have a good chance of hearing me talk about communism and how awful it is. Anyway, but during the Red Scare, there was a lot of concern about communist propaganda, and Congress got involved and all kinds of stuff. And in the middle of that, there was a man named Frederick Wortham who wrote a book called Seduction of the Innocents, and he
Yes,
painted a
yeah,
picture of how evil comics books were because they were there to delude the mind of the young.
Yeah.
And he was not entirely wrong, but
No.
the comic book industry, fearing that there would be some sort of hammer come down on them, they founded what's called the Comics Code Authority, which was basically a rating system, except they had one rating. It was pass or fail. And books that were mature or too scary all got the axe.
You know what's so funny about that? What was it? Just 10 years before that was when was Bucky introduced?
Oh, it was about probably 10 years before
10 years
that.
before that. Before that, comics actually were not just childish.
Well, and they weren't even during that time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually, there's been a lot of
because Bucky and those characters were introduced to appeal more to kids, to get young
yeah,
kids.
and Robin and everything too.
Yeah, Robin. Yeah,
But there's been a lot of mistruths told about the history of comic books. That where people like try to make it they try to make the discussion of censorship and content to be a discussion about free speech instead of being a discussion about free markets, because it's really more about markets than it's about speech.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to be.
Well, yeah, no,
everybody
yeah,
wants to be the hero.
appeal to market. Yeah, it was appeal to market. That's going on today. That's actually very much going on
Well, yeah,
today.
very much is. But
It's
anyway,
it's not a
So the
justice warrior bullshit.
So back up a little bit though. So the Comics Code Authority existed for a number of years, and in the middle of all of this, there was kind of a dearth of superhero comics. The boom went away, and so you're left with romance comics and Western comics and science fiction comics,
Right.
and almost no crime comics and almost no horror comics. And then so the only superhero comics that were consistently published during that time were Wonder Woman, adventure comics with Green Arrow and Aquaman, Batman, Superman.
Shazam was period. Well, no,
Shazam died out then too, but that was that Fawcett stopped producing comics, but it wasn't because they weren't selling, it's because the national publications, what became DC, took them to court over the likeness rights, and they lost enough money on lawyers that they just shuttered their whole comic wing.
Yep.
And so that's what happened with Captain Marvel. But anyway, fast forward,
he was actually more popular.
He was more popular.
His whole team was more popular.
Yes, he was, but
because it was Billy.
But DC had bigger pockets.
Yes, they did. Well, it was Billy. Like, Billy was the actual catch, and that's why so many people try getting the child.
Oh man, yeah. So anyway,
back
to the thing. So then the Silver Age kicked off with the introduction in 1958 of the Martian Manhunter, but it didn't really get into full swing until the second Flash was introduced. So it was very hot on the heels. I think it was 58, maybe it was 64. I might be remembering wrong. But then DC started establishing itself and reinventing its pantheon, and then the Marvel Age happened. Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, and it was over. And so our Golden Age detective back in the 30s and 40s, Mark Queston, and he is looking into a murder mystery connected to a series of bad luck incidences that all seem to have something to do with a particular painting. And so that is going to go on. I'm going to say it's pretty nearly an all ages book. It's got some intense themes, but very little is actually on screen with it. So, maybe a Y7 if you're going to have a bottom line on it, because it's got some intensity.
Yeah, no, and that's true. And the comic code, that's actually being done away with virtually now.
Oh yeah, the comic code doesn't exist anymore. It disbanded in 2003. Yeah, Marvel opted out of it entirely, and then the only people paying were Archie and DC, and they were just like, yeah, what are we doing this for? If Marvel's not in the game, then what's the point?
So here are these pages.
But anyways, okay. Barry is going to fill time while I look over this story.
So once upon a time, children, you need your kids to hear. Do you think they'd actually pay attention to that, Chelsea? She wants her kids to hear that, the whole story about
the whole story
comics.
Okay.
Just play us back to them. It is a lot of background knowledge. We can find it here, or you can also find it other channels actually on YouTube. That's how I learned.
Well, yeah. My thing is that, like so many channels, tell the Wizard magazine version of the story, and it's not right.
What's that? From who?
The Wizard magazine version.
Oh
of the
God,
story.
no! But that's
well, I believed it for years. But you know what changed?
Well, you're always going to find
what made me question it.
What's that?
Was I read? So I used to be a writer for an online DC Comics fan magazine called Fanzine, right?
Right. I work Fanzine.
One of the articles that somebody submitted while I was writing for them was an article called "The Weird History of Frederick Wortham," the guy who wrote Seduction of the Innocents, right? And he wrote this big thing about how terrible comics were and how they wrecked America's youth. Okay. And it was a mildly popular book that ended up having some consequence with it. But in the 60s and 70s, right, he became enthralled with the fanzine community.
No shit.
Yes. And he was a regular, correspondent with people that were writing fanzines. And for those of you who don't know, fanzines were fan-made magazines that were made just photocopied and mailed around or whatever, but they were all very low budget, but they were dedicated to specific fandoms. Marvel Comics, DC Comics, Charlton had their own official fanzine that was all fan done called The Bullseye. There was There were ones that were Star Trek, they became Star Wars fanzines, the whole thing.
Star Trek,
And Alter Ego is still being produced. It's one of the last fanzines that still exists. And Roy Thomas got to write he ended up being editor-in-chief at Marvel. He got his start in the fanzines, right? And Fanzine, the online fan magazine that I wrote for, ING, right, was an intention of some guys to come up with a zero budget way of doing a fanzine. So, virtually zero budget because it was hosted online. There's no print costs, right? Mm-hmm. But somebody wrote an article about how enthralled and because it was a grassroots, bottom-up kind of a thing, Wortham wrote about how positive the fanzine market was and never mentioned its intrinsic connection with a comic book thing. So he wrote articles about fanzines and how good they were for kids to get involved in, and intentionally seems to have left out they were involved in comics fandom. So he didn't contrast his previous work on purpose, but still ended up contrasting it. So that got me thinking, wait a second, how much else of the story, because I've never heard this before, and I've been around comic fandom for years.
Right.
So I started looking at it and then finding out more about, what happened in the Red Scare and Hollywood and all kinds of stuff. Right. And I found, the wizard version of the Comics Code Authority was not the truth. It was half.
Let's bring us to like modern times.
Whoa!
Well, do I have a rag right there?
I get a paper towel here.
Okay, there you go. So speaking of modern times and not getting this stuff, right? Often how literature and everything makes it through unabolished and uninfluenced by things such as Red Scare and politics and propaganda, are small-time press.
Yep.
And just happen to have two small-time press guys right here with you. Now, we are influenced, admittedly, by politics and the times of the world we live in. And you're right, Mrs. Martinez. We should do classes, which we actually do.
Yeah, and we haven't set it up yet, but we are possibly looking at another comics class next year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking early summer rather than in the winter. What do you think?
Something to think about. I think I'd like it a little more.
Just from some of the feedback we got last year, people that couldn't make it because of school. I'm thinking.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, we should put some
feelers out.
Feelers out there to find out. So, yeah. So what? There's a chair. Anyway.
Damn it.
Oh, you're right, bud. And so, independent writers, my point is that we write stories, and people are always going to write stories and what they care about, right? It's going to be what you care about. It's what you relate to.
100%.
But the best thing about that is it's from the heart and it's genuine. It has very little. We make little money on this stuff. In fact, yes. I'm in the hole, but we do make some money. It's just the overhead is more.
Yeah, for now.
So this is from the heart, as I say. This is a thing of passion, and so when you have that, it's not influenced by, say, the politics that are involved in a more smaller or larger scale. It's about things that we love and characters and good stories. And even if somebody actually believes differently than we do as far as politically, if they're writing something from the heart and it's a small independent thing, well, that's just as good, honestly. It's when big businesses step in and try to actually control that and make it a narrative and make it an agenda. That's when you get a lot of ingenuine bullshit going on. So we'll just. What are you reading here?
Oh, what am I doing?
Well, yeah.
Well, I'm reading through the thing.
Well, I know that. But I thought you already have.
I had, but it's been a while, and I thought there was more to it than that. So that's confusing me.
Exactly, Mrs. Martinez. Exactly.
Okay, that's familiar.
So, I'd like to thank everyone who joined us tonight. So far, it was a lively bunch. You had a telecall to old Steve. That was pretty cool. We should do that more often. We should maybe harass more people.
Oh, I tell you what, man, that was that's a good thing.
Yeah,
So,
I'm really excited for him. I think that's really.
well, his thing is really cool too.
I'm really excited for it. I tuned in before for it when it's just them like get just gaming and stuff, and whatever. So that's really cool. And I wanted to watch it, and then I had my bud me schedule a sports show, and we just didn't get it
Done in time.
you know, we had some drinks, and then of course things went on. Oh,
I was certain there was more to it.
I was too. And
This is all we can find.
That's all I can find, and right now, I just cleaned it. I haven't organized it yet, but it's everything's ordered. I went through everything. I was moving things around. There's not much else in there, and like all the other
I
things.
guess I can look at my art bag. It's at the office, and I've got to. I'll be there soon enough.
Yeah,
And,
like there's
yeah.
I've looked through like that stuff over down there.
Oh, okay, so
I wanted to ask you your opinion because I want to. What type of consent do I have to get to read books on YouTube?
Written consent.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
We should just start with our stuff, also.
Yeah, why
Start
not?
with my stuff anyway.
Well, I'm not against the idea of that. It's just a matter of finding the product we want to do with it. I do have a 3-page journal entry by Mark Question about his discovery of the werewolves. That might be fun. Topical.
Yeah,
Halloween-y.
Cool. Who?
Mark Question, the detective?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we like him? I don't think we like him anymore.
I
Just
love
kidding.
Mark.
Just kidding.
Anyway, so yeah. So of the books that we're pretty sure we're going to have done, one is the 7 Quests of the Savage Norseman. And it tells the story about how normal teenager, in 1976, how normal teenager Sven Henriks becomes this superheroic savage Norseman. And he embarks on 7 quests given to him by a wizard at a Ren fair. And in completing these 7 quests, he becomes the great hero of the savage Norseman. And so it's going to catalog that. It's all but I need to get the cover finished, and it's got one more page, and we're done with that story, which I'm very excited for. And it's going to be black and white or grayscale, but we're actually printing it on aged paper.
So if we're doing a story about Savage Norseman, shouldn't we do a Bloody Guts one?
No, for the
His
first
name is
one.
Savage.
Yeah.
Savage is literally in his name.
Yeah.
Norseman is the other part of his name. And
Yeah.
Actually,
I know how words work, Barry.
yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, not with this first story. And also, part of the Savage Norseman's character is that he's a good guy. That he's even if he's running around hollering and hooting and smacking people with a stick, because that's a thing.
A bloody stick.
That he still has the heart of a hero, which is why he ends up being able to give up his power later, as revealed in Forces of Good and Evil.
Yes, Paul. Actually, I was a very big fan of Double Dragons.
The video game or the
Yes.
movie?
Not the movie, but when I was a kid, the movie was horrible even then. We do comic books at the moment, Paul. We do have a plan for games, but right now it's a bit off because surprise, surprise, comic books take a bit of time.
And so do games.
And so do games. Yeah, resources alone for games before I can get into the program, even any of that stuff. Yeah, Double Dragon. I played that in arcade actually, the actual legit arcade game, and then I played it for the original NES. And I think I even got the most recent rendition of it, Neon, on the Xbox. So, yeah, my brother actually has an old school Nintendo, and he found the game, and his kids are playing it. So, crazy stuff. Thank you for tuning in, by the way.
So, okay. So we've got the 7 Quests of the Savage Norseman. We've got Mark Question Meets the Lord of the Shoes, which is, like I said, a mystery story.
That's awesome.
It's a supernatural mystery story.
Clog monsters.
Yes. And
it's true.
And what is the other one that we're nearly finished with? Oh my goodness, I don't remember it.
It's obviously not important.
I wouldn't say that.
Well,
Drat.
You know, we should. So we've been keeping these things an hour long. We're probably gonna log off here in about a few minutes, and we're gonna want to continue going for the Patreons.
Well, the last thing.
Do you
want
to keep on shooting for the Patreons, or do you want to just keep on going? What do you think?
Well, our patrons probably deserve a little something. Didn't get last
Yeah,
week's Forces
those
page
pictures. Those pictures we sent them last time didn't go over good.
Holy crow! Stop it. Okay. But yeah. I am. But yeah. We do need to talk about what ephemerma we want at the con. That's the other thing. Was other than just checking on the things. And man, I don't know. I hate to say this, but if we only have here, and it needs at least 2 more pages.
Yeah, I want to ask him before I say, hey, we need more from you. Did he give us more? Because I thought I had them all.
I thought so too, and I thought it was 16.
Yeah, I knew it was 15 or 16, 14 or 16. I thought. I just don't get.
What happened to him? I will look in my art bag.
If I had them.
Yeah, I'll look in my art bag. It's like I said,
because most of that stuff I keep together. I just.
Tim Lim just went live. His show's way more interesting.
Who's Tim Lim?
He's the artist that did My Hero Macadamia and Black Ops, which I just backed last week. I'm super excited for.
Very nice.
I had him on my show last week too.
No.
Yeah.
Cool. I caught a little bit of that before I fell asleep because I put your stuff on after you.
See, I like to listen because you're boring. You put me to sleep. Thank you, Barry.
No, I work crazy hours, and now I'm just now on daytime hours.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, comic books specifically. I don't know if we mentioned that.
Yeah.
But okay, anyway.
He's gone anyway.
Oh, he just take off?
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, oh, hey. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not into listening to how people make comic books.
That's fine.
That's fine.
We've been rambling all over the place, so
there has been a lot of rambling. But anyway, back to what I was saying is I think, I'll take a look at this one. The only thing that I know we wanted to talk about is the banner.
Yeah.
So
wait. A new banner for this con? Is that what you're thinking about?
That's what we talked with what's his name about when we saw him at the farmer's market.
Yeah. I'd rather be able to pay him for that. I can talk to. I'll talk to him. I'm supposed to see him this weekend.
Okay. So we won't worry about figuring out design until we talk to him again.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm good with that.
And the posters, I can talk to him tomorrow about.
Cool. Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, it is. Get some posters out into distribution this weekend.
Yeah. The only other Ideal Comics thing that I wanted to make sure that we got done, and why is my mouse being stupid?
Frozen?
Oh, there it is. Okay. Is that I really want to make. Okay, Blaine can meet next Monday, by the way.
Oh. Cool. We were just talking about. We were talking about that on live. Where he's read my mind.
No, I sent him a text message before we went live.
Here, I've seen that Blaine watched us.
No.
F you, Blaine. F you.
I don't even know if he knows about us.
Of course, he's a big fan of
I mean,
Ideal Comics.
I know he knows we exist, but that's not really what I'm talking about.
We're sorry we have no theme music for you guys tonight. So our one strong person making it through the evening.
We're not a necessarily theme music kind
we
of
usually
people.
we usually have theme music. Usually it's played by Rico and sung by Rhys and hated on by me.
That does sometimes happen. It does sometimes happen. But okay, so we're waiting on figuring out banner till next week. We've talked story. I know one thing I want to do today is to look over our timeline, the master timeline again, before we get Rico's pages up on the Comic Express or Comic Central. So also for those of you who may be interested, if you e-comics are your thing, we have a selection of web comics, or not web comics, of e-comics that are available on Comic Central. And if you go to idealcomics.net and go to shop, it'll actually take you down there, and you can check it out. They're very affordable. We've got starting at 50 cents. I think actually we have one that's a quarter.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the first day story, just 6 pages,
Okay.
but it's a quarter. So if that's your thing, feel free to check it out. We will be releasing some coupon codes. If you follow us on Twitter, you might see those coming up. But it's all a secret. You'll never know when it'll happen. Anyway, and that's everything. Other than that, that's everything I want to talk about tonight. So
Okay. Yeah. I think it was good. Thank you all who tuned in, and anyone who tunes in the future and watches this. Right? Well, wait, let me the camera. Camera loves you.
I'm confused.
So we're thanking our fans for watching us.
Oh yeah, of course.
And because we're tuning off, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So, is there anything we want to say in closing?
So if you live in anywhere around the Scottsbluff, Nebraska area, because we're not afraid of doxing, feel free to.
We don't. Doxing doesn't exist. Why would you be afraid of doxing?
It's not what I mean, but okay. I'm saying, come at me.
No, it's not.
Kind of. Anyway, if you're anywhere near Scottsbluff, Cheyenne, whatever, in the 26th of October, come check us out at the Monument Mall here in Bluffs, where we will be there with a bunch of other indie creators for the 3rd annual High Plains Minicon. And we'll have a special guest, Ron Fortier, who is the man who created the 1990s era unified timeline for the Green Hornet for Now Comics.
Yep.
He also has written Popeye. He's written The Terminator.
Yeah, the Terminator 4.
Alex Ross's first work was
Dark
The
Horse.
Terminator. Actually, Dark Horse publishes it now.
Later.
Now
But that
originally
was
published
now,
it.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
stories. Yeah.
But
But yeah,
a
it
whole
was
bunch of
awesome.
Yeah, and Ron is originally, I guess, from New Hampshire or somewhere out there.
Well, the
Delaware,
Jersey area.
somewhere there.
And I just say of awesome
Oh,
comic book
man,
stories and comic book knowledge. So
And plus
So,
Todd Jones is going to be there.
Todd Jones.
I believe Abe
Fort
Aiken is
Collins.
going to be there.
Fort Collins fan.
There's a
Bunch
list. Of,
of-
we will be
bunch
if you follow Pipelines Minicon on Facebook, we'll be releasing our list of
A
vendors
bunch of creative
in the next
people.
couple weeks.
Awesome creative crowd. So check it out. You'll
Yep.
have fun. It's like a festival. We give
So-
out beads and shit.
No,
Just kidding, we don't.
but it will be the most fun you'll have on a Saturday in West Nebraska.
I don't know where
The
that.
most fun you have on a Saturday in Western Nebraska in October. There you go.
I mean Tuesday. We're pretty fun on Tuesdays.
We
too.
are really fun on
Yeah.
Tuesdays.
No, we're not. All right. Well, thank you. And
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys.
good day
Have a good one.
and broadcast.
In broadcast, that's the one. And then you'll ask you to survey.